Alright, welcome to Love and Marriage here on TV Sapiens. Yeah, you know, Freshman always he has a way of saying something that will just make me laugh so well, and you can't imagine what we're talking about. I'm not going to tell you all what we're talking about. Alright, Love and Marriage. We talk love, we talk relationship, we talk marriage, singles to make it work. You know, knowing that there are lots of challenges facing marriages and singles right about now. So every time we come here, we try to make sense of everything with the hope of making sure that people actually live together happily. I am Oma, you're very sweetheart on radio and TV. I've got with me.
Yeah, Freshman, many thanks for joining. Yes, love and marriage, of course, it's a thing of joy. You know, in as much as lots of people, you know, have made mistakes in one way or the other. Some people have been taken advantage of, some people have been dumped, some people have been duped, some people have been treated badly in the name of love. And sometimes you hear people say that there's nothing like love. You know, you hear people, you know, carrying out crusades against marriage. But in actual sense, we still have so many happy marriages, and we can never ever look at the institution of marriage and say that marriage has failed.
No, not at all.
People
Not
fail
at
in
all.
marriage. Marriage can never fail. And that's why it's important that we sit here together every Tuesday to see the area. You know, we can touch your life, we can talk to you, we can share ideas with you. So, welcome.
Yeah, and from a fallout of what we've been discussing all this while, you know, there was a time we had this conversation about people getting to know each other. And in the process of that conversation, we talked about the reigning thing right now. The fact that sometimes a single guy will actually insist that the lady in question will get pregnant first before they do anything.
Before getting married,
Their reason, I don't know, I can't fathom. Some will say, because of the 21st century, you can never trust any woman, blah, 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 blah. Some will give that very horrible reason of maybe she has had abortion, maybe she no longer has fallopian tube, maybe she no longer have a womb. You want to be sure. Some will tell you that they want to be sure that she's a woman. Some will tell you that they want to be sure of her fertility.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The truth of the matter is that lots of guys they enter into marriage because of children. You know.
Really?
And when you're entering into something and you have particular thing in mind, that's why some people, they marry, and when they have children, they abandon their wives. They may not abandon their wives physically, like chasing their wives away from home, but they give all their attention,
their love to the children,
their love, everything.
But I'd like to see it from this other side. Okay, yeah, I am well aware that there are some guys that they get married for the sake of children.
Yes,
especially only son. Like if the guy is an only son or maybe the only child, they want to get married so that they can have more children. All right. That aside, what about that place where, I mean, God is the giver of children, right?
Yeah.
God is the one that makes people pregnant.
Yeah.
What if a situation? Okay, before, I don't want us to jump. Let's take it from the beginning.
Okay.
The why.
Yeah.
Can we analyze the entire why?
Okay. The why depends on individuals. There are different individuals that do this thing and they have their different reasons. One is there are people who are naturally bad people.
Yeah.
And because they have done bad things, for instance, they've sponsored abortion. They've had different girlfriends. They sponsor them to do abortion. And now, because of that, they can't trust any girl. So if they are meeting any girl, they will believe, because the ones they have sponsored abortion, have done abortion with, they are no longer with that person.
Oh my goodness.
And because of the fact that they have done all these things. So they believe that that other girl, even though they have not had anything to do with girl, that there are guys that probably have sponsored her to commit abortion too. So now they want to be sure that the girl is, in fact, they look at every woman as not being capable of getting pregnant or having children. So they want to be very, very sure that whoever they are getting married to can actually give them children. Now, some may not be that they are bad people. It's the kind of friends they keep and the stories
they share and they hear.
You know. So when they hear certain stories that you may marry a girl, that girl has done this, that girl has done that, she won't be able to have children and so on and so forth. You see the person carry it upon his head. And it'll be like, if I'm going to marry you, you must first and foremost get pregnant. You know, but what I always tell people like this is, if you want a woman, or you want to be sure a woman can get pregnant, there are single mothers who have gotten pregnant before. These are people you can be sure. Why not marry a single mother? Because
she's already, she has given birth.
She has given birth.
Yeah. So there is no, the fertility is not in doubt. Even though fresh, no matter how many times someone has given birth, anytime secondary infertility decides, you start struggling with it.
Yeah, there is secondary infertility, and most times secondary infertility comes even after a first child. You understand?
Yeah.
Because as a single girl, you after getting pregnant, after giving birth, you may grow fat. You now have lots of fat in your body, and probably without exercise, this fat may actually prevent even the girl from getting pregnant. Another thing is that we shouldn't forget the finger of God.
And that is the number one thing for me.
You understand? Because there are girls that they are very, very okay. Absolutely nothing wrong
with them. But they can't get pregnant.
They
menstruate every week, every month.
They do everything.
Everything is normal. Everything is in order. But they cannot get pregnant.
There are also girls that no man has touched. In fact, they got married as virgins. There are church girls. They don't condone any form of immorality. Yet they can't conceive. But on the other hand, there are girls also that they are prostitutes actually. They sleep with different kinds of men. They have treated different kinds of infection. They have done so many abortions. Yet they are still buying pills. They are still using contraceptives. They are still getting pregnant and they are doing abortion. And even when they're married, they still have children. So that is why, you know, people need to understand that God is different from man. His ways are different.
From the ways of man.
We cannot fathom it. So when you now bring that preposition that a woman must
get pregnant.
You're
now trying to take the position of God.
You understand?
Like you're now playing God.
So it is possible a woman can actually get pregnant for you, and you marry her, and she lose the pregnancy.
Of course, obviously. I think there was, I don't know whether you're the one that discussed this particular thing on radio. I wouldn't know. Okay, it's not you. There was a day they were discussing it. They were trying to find out why people do that. Somebody that called into the program shared a very devastating story. He said, now, this guy got this girl pregnant, all in the name of, let me know whether you're a woman and all that. After getting pregnant, the guy didn't even marry her. Yeah, he didn't even marry her. He absconded. Now, when the lady went to give birth, the baby died. The baby did not survive. Now, she was now left heartbroken.
No baby, no husband.
Baby, no husband. So I wouldn't know. While a guy, on the other hand, is telling a woman, I need to get pregnant. I want to be sure whether you're, I want to be sure of her fertility. I want, and whatever reasons they give. The woman, on the other hand, doesn't she have a say?
Yeah, look at
Can't
it.
she say no? Can't she say,
look,
let us, if we are getting married, let us get married and pregnancy will come?
Look at it,
Is it?
there are
one of them
girls.
selfish?
There are girls that, if a man is coming to ask for their hand in marriage, they behave as though the man is doing them a favor. There are men too that, if they're asking for a woman's hand in marriage, they will make themselves look like they are giving a favor to the girl and her family.
Yeah.
You understand? And if you check, you discover that girls who face this kind of embarrassment, girls who face this kind of issue, these are girls that they have nothing else to offer apart from ability to get pregnant, like they think.
Really?
A girl that has something tangible she's doing, you won't walk up to her and
tell her that, right?
get pregnant.
Right?
Pregnant may come while you guys dating
And all that.
it is possible.
But the guy will not.
But having the boldness, because
boldness.
there are girls, there are girls you don't want to lose if you're a guy.
Yeah.
There are girls you don't want to lose, because if you lose them, you know you've lost something. You understand?
Yeah.
So, and this kind of girls, you are not the only suitor. And what you say can put you at the back seat. You understand? So you have to be careful.
Yes.
Now, guys that look at girls and ask them to get pregnant, they cannot see anything on that lady apart from
the pregnancy,
having a baby. He's just there to multiply. She's just there to give birth. And one thing young people fail to understand is that marriage has stages.
Yeah, sure.
It is not even advisable in marriage to just marry and start having children immediately. For me, if my wife had allowed me, I told her when we got married, can we spend at least 3 years?
3 years.
Fraternize.
Yeah.
Bond the more.
Yes.
Have time to love each other
and learn more about each other.
And learn more about each other. That is, form a strong cord that no one can break. And after that, we now start having children, because as soon as a child comes, you start having divided attention. You're paying attention to that child. You're paying attention to your husband. It can never be the same.
Yeah.
You understand me? So that time is opportunity to fraternize. Now, come to think of who now gives birth before the marriage itself. Whereas some of us, we are projecting that even when you marry, you should spend at least 1 or 2 years together without a child, so that you can, because we're talking about marriage. This is marriage.
You know our African culture, Nigeria, Southeast. Get married and you don't have a child within the next 9 months. They will start counting it for you.
It depends. See, when
if your family members, if the family members don't count it, outsiders. In fact, it will come to a point where they will even if maybe you are in the midst of people, they will have a way of reminding you that maybe you're 1 year in marriage, that you're yet to have a child.
Let me tell you something. That it's a level you get to in life that you just cannot start listening to what people say.
Yeah, sure.
Do you understand? You don't have any answer to anybody asking you about having children, because children are from God. So for the fact that you've taken the decision doesn't mean you are going to announce it. the fact that people will come to you and start telling you you've been married for a year or 2 years, you haven't got a child. If you have the time to talk to the person, just tell the person that at the right time, kids will come. And definitely kids will come. I even get tired of having them. That is the plan of God for all of us. So now to start having children from the very first day you enter into marriage just because you don't want family members to talk. For instance, my own family, in as much as I may call you, but I don't think there's anybody in my family that will want to put up that, I want to talk like that. Number one is the person will be sensible enough to think, what if they are trying, but they've not been able to get? Saying this to them will hurt them. Because most people who tell you this, they want to hurt you. They want to hurt your feeling. Not because they love you or they love your wife. They want to humiliate you. They want to embarrass you. So now back to the direction of what I'm saying. Now a woman, when you now get pregnant for a man because he wants you to get pregnant, as soon as you give birth, the attention of that man is on that child. And at a point, that woman will automatically become a baby-making machine. That's why, as a lady, it is humiliation for a man to even tell you to get pregnant before marriage.
Right?
You have attended weddings and traditional marriages. You have seen people give their daughters' hands in marriage. You've seen other girls' hand in marriage. You've seen weddings. You know, so why must your own be different? In your community, how many women had to get pregnant before getting married? These are the things you need to check. The next one is, do you even have the fear of God in you? Is this the plan of God? Or you want to be ahead of your maker? Ahead of the owner of marriage itself? So I think it is time for girls to start saying no to abnormalities. To start saying no to things you know that it shouldn't be. A girl should become a wife before becoming a mother.
Exactly.
There's no way you become a mother before becoming a wife. It's not. It's never the thing. It doesn't happen like that. You are moving faster than your shadow. You can't go to university and then come back to start secondary school. You take the process the way the process should be taken. Most men who insist their wives must get pregnant before they marry them, check how they treat that woman. It's a sign that this man doesn't have value for the woman. It's a sign that this woman is not looking for a wife, he's looking for a mother. He's looking for children. A man that is looking for a wife will first and foremost marry. There are people that had children and lost the whole children.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if you understand me. So why on earth will you now, as a man, start insisting? Unfortunately, girls now make it easy and possible. Because if this other girl says no, the man moves to
the next person.
And check people who do this. Check their lives.
At the end of the day, and that is why we have a lot of broken marriages, broken homes. Because when the guy, maybe they've been dating, and all of a sudden it's time to get married, and the guy comes up with this issue of getting pregnant before marriage, and the girl says no. I think most guys, they quickly move on to the next
person
girl,
and
without checking whether they are compatible, without
not.
checking whether this girl is God's will. And just like you said, it is really important for young people to start having the fear of God in their lives.
Yes.
Because marriage, we are talking about a lifetime. Even though a lot of people no longer see it as a lifetime. That's why we have the high rate of divorce. That's why we have a lot of people battering their wives. We have a lot of violence in marriages.
Yeah, another thing you need to look at is the fact that the man who is saying she has to get pregnant before marriage, the man doesn't even know whether he can impregnate a woman.
Maybe he wants to try.
You understand?
Maybe Maybe he wants to try.
And there's a problem. Society has contributed a lot to this.
Honestly.
Even the
it's
church.
so sad.
It's sad that church is
Very
also
sad.
contributing. Now look at it. Have you ever seen where they want to pray for women who are believing God for fruit of the womb, and the men are asked to come out too? When they say in the church, they say barren women. Nobody has ever said a barren man, but there are so many barren men. But in a marriage where couples are believing God for fruit of the womb, the fingers and the eyes are on the woman.
On the woman. Without knowing that it is both of them.
When after I had my first son, we spent 5 years before my daughter came. And we went to hospital and we checked ourselves. And I was told I have low sperm count. I did not argue. I had to go through the process of treatment. Now, lots of men, because they already had a child before, will tell you that there is nothing wrong with them. If you try to argue with them, they will point at their child and say, I had this one 5 years ago. What do you want to tell me? That I'm responsible? So now some of these guys, many of them have infections. Many of them have low sperm count. Many of them have problems. But what they are doing is they want to try. They want to get a girl pregnant before marrying the girl. And sometimes they even try. They sleep with the girl from year to year without even getting the girl pregnant.
And they're intentional about it. They are literally intentional about it. They just want to see if she can get pregnant.
And if they try and they can't get the girl pregnant, they conclude
that
the girl is barren. Without knowing that they themselves, they are the
barren ones. You know what? Freshman, I really respect your views and the way you speak, because when we have men like you, that means our society will get better. Because for years, women have suffered.
A lot.
Women have suffered as a result of patriarchy nature. But I love the fact that you understand this whole thing, knowing that it is not just the woman.
Yes, because ordinary, I would have just asked my wife to go to hospital.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand. I would have just asked my wife to submit to
whatever the doctor
wants to do, because from the beginning we are aware that she has this hormonal imbalance. You understand?
Yeah.
So ordinary, we should have just concluded that
it was her.
It's her. You know that because they say they manage it, they don't really treat it. So we should have, but I don't see it that way. One is submitting myself is encouraging her. Submitting myself is making her think that I'm not blaming her. Submitting myself, I try to submit myself. I nothing on earth ever make me think that at that point I have low sperm count.
Yeah.
But she's taking injections and I'm just looking at her. I need to also do something to show that I am making effort, in as much as I'm the one paying the bills. But she needs to see my own effort as we go to hospitals. And that's why I say, why don't you check me? Why did you see if I'm okay as well? And she looked at me. She didn't say anything. When we got home, she started asking me, why did I say that? What makes me think I'm not fine? I said, no. The truth of the matter is that I understand the fact that anybody can become not okay at any time.
At any point.
What you eat can automatically change your system.
Change your system.
Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman.
Yeah.
You can enter a certain environment and things in your life will change. So when the result came out, she was marveled. When the doctor told us that, you have low sperm count and we are going to give you drugs, but then don't expect the drugs that after a few months, 1 month or 2 months or few months, you'll be able to impregnate her. You may not be able to do that. I said, sir, children, they are from God. When He wills, they will come. We took the drugs. We went home. When it's time for her to take her own, I bring my own. She will drink her own, I will drink my own. So for us, it wasn't like hell. It was a kind of, it was even fun for us, you know. And even the drugs, I was told that, you know, you take it, the boosting sperm count may take 3 years, 4 years. So I shouldn't be in a hurry. I think it was a matter of a month or two she conceived. God sees the heart. She conceived. You know, so what I'm trying to say is a man can have problem.
Yeah.
A woman can have problem
as well.
A man that doesn't have problem yesterday can have problem today. Just like a woman. That's why we should stop focusing
on just the woman.
We should stop making women victims unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Asking a woman to get pregnant without asking yourself whether you can actually impregnate her.
And the annoying part is the fact that a lot of people are falling for this.
Yes.
The way people are going over this, falling for this scam. I call it a scam. A lot of people are falling for this scam. Now, first, let's look at the disadvantages of going ahead of God. Because for a guy to open his mouth, you know, it's a different ballgame when they are in a relationship, they are dating, especially in the world view of dating. You know, the world view of dating, when people are dating, they're having sex.
They're doing everything.
The world view. Yeah. But for the Christian view of courtship, sex is not allowed.
At all.
Now, that world view of dating and all that, once in a while, making love and all that, it is still, okay, let's just say, in the process of that, she gets pregnant. It's a different
It's a different thing, yeah.
But when a guy
plan it
on his own, on his own,
arrange it,
comes to the girl
and present
and says,
it,
babe, I need you to get married. I need to get pregnant. It's only when you get pregnant then that we can proceed with everything about our marriage.
You're even soft. The audacity in which people who talk to girls like that,
oh my God,
they just tell you that they cannot marry a woman
that cannot
get pregnant. And for you to prove that you can get pregnant, you have to get pregnant before they marry you.
The guts, like the audacity, just like you
said.
You
understand?
The audacity.
So that is it. And the fact is that because they think they are doing the girl a favor, they have given the girl an open check. Just get pregnant.
Right. But we should understand, while these guys are thinking about these things, they should understand there are people that will get pregnant and they will miscarry. Number one. Number two, there are people that will get pregnant in the process of trying to give birth. The baby will die. The mother will not survive. It happens. There are people, maybe at the 3rd month, the baby will go. At the 6th month, the baby will go. So while they are having these thoughts, this crazy idea of you must get pregnant before I get married to you, they should also understand that things can go the other way. In fact, there is this young girl who's shared a story with me. From the very first day she got pregnant, she's been from one hospital to another. She had a threatened miscarriage. In fact, from 6 months, you know, women's body differ. There are some women that when they get pregnant, they are so strong, they will do anything, they can go to the farm, they do just about anything. But there are also women, when they get pregnant, because of the stress, little thing will threaten the baby.
Yeah.
Now, I think she's part of those women that little thing was threatening the baby. So as from 6 months, she wasn't even going anywhere. Then they managed the baby till 8 months. At I think they're about 8 months, thereabouts, getting to 9 months, she was operated upon, and the baby was brought out. She gave birth. But the thing is that the baby was in the incubator. Now the baby they were in the hospital for months, trying to save the life of the baby. Now this is somebody that got married legally. Now imagine the guy who wakes up and gives this kind of condition to a lady. Now before I get married to you, you must get pregnant. Some guys should have the fear of God in them.
Yeah, another thing is that there are guys that they don't like taking responsibility.
Right?
For instance, if it was a guy that told that lady to get pregnant before they marry, and this kind of situation starts arising, you know, it will definitely be the parents of the girl that will be paying the bills. The guy will disappear. So there are guys, because they don't want to take responsibilities, so they have to just go through that wrong path. There are young people like that. There are also people that they are just very good in deceiving girls. She's not the first person. She's not the first person he's telling to get pregnant. He has impregnated many others. They will not even marry you when you get pregnant and even give birth. So it's just their own strategy of sleeping with women. So because they know that you want to get married, they just say that I'm the only son, or if you truly want me to marry you, get pregnant. And because the girl wants to get pregnant, the girl continue to sleep with him. His interest is that sleeping with the girl. By the time the girl gets pregnant, he disappears. So there are people like that.
Judgment day will be something else.
Yeah, it will take a long day. It will not stop at noon.
Yeah,
Yeah, correct.
what's that?
That's it.
What's that for?
Honestly, the word is people are wicked.
Hey. Oh, that means he's using it as a ploy. And this idea of men using "I will marry you," I keep telling young girls, "I will marry you" is not a certificate.
Marriage. It's not even marriage.
I will marry you. On Sunday, when I was doing a program, I reminded young girls that the same way guys are looking for good ladies to get married. I mean, the same way as a young girl, you're looking for a good guy. A responsible guy. Now that is the same way guys are also looking for responsible women. In fact, I told them that in this 21st century, that more guys are even looking for responsible women.
Yes. But the truth of the matter is that a guy can sleep with anybody, whether responsible or irresponsible. But when it comes to marriage, he wants the responsible lady.
See?
So because he wants to sleep with just anybody, he may even pretend and tell the girl, the irresponsible girl, that look, you're okay, just get pregnant.
Just get pregnant.
And she'll be struggling with getting pregnant.
And that is the same way he's going to tell. He'll tell Nkechi. He'll tell Ifoma.
And all of them, he'll be sleeping with all of them.
Girls.
That is his own. And sometimes he may not be well, he may be sick. He'll just be sleeping with them, and none of them will even get pregnant.
That's like hoodwinking a lot of girls in.
But the reason is that most girls, let me not use most, some girls, especially girls who fall for this, these are girls that need help.
Right.
They are not looking for love, they are looking for who will help them.
You know, freshman.
Or girls that are desperate to get married.
True.
These are the two classes of people.
Because, you know, when somebody is desperate to get married, that person can do and undo.
Yes, you're correct.
That person, even if you, whatever you tell the person to do, and when some of these wicked guys meet these ladies that seem desperate to get married, they start using this ploy. That's why you see a young lady who is so rich, the only thing that's lacking in her life is probably husband. And our society has made it so horrible that no matter how far a woman goes in life, they will always ask for your husband. They always, it doesn't matter what you've come home with. They want to know, oh, where is your husband? Oh, where is he? They want to know where the husband is. You know?
Yeah, husband is important. But one, marrying trouble is what every woman should avoid.
Yeah.
For it is better to remain single than to marry someone and get into trouble. Now look at it. That's the nature of life we live. There are people who are married and they are praying and looking for a way to become single again. You understand? They are looking for a way, they are praying, they are wondering, how can I become single again? They are married, but they want to leave marriage and become single again because that's not what they bargained.
Yeah.
While there are people who are single and they are doing everything possible, they are so desperate that they can marry even devil's cousin. Or they are single.
God should just remove all those kind of things from single people, honestly.
You understand?
Honestly, you know, when someone gets to that point of desperation where a guy will come and tell you, you must get pregnant before we get married. I mean, that's the height of it. Now,
honestly,
how can young ladies prevent themselves? What should young ladies do?
Number one is when you're entering a relationship, be sure of what you're entering. The major reason for dating and courtship is to get married. So when you're entering a relationship, don't just enter because every other person is in it. And if you are ready for marriage, be sure the person you're entering into with is also ready. You don't enter a relationship hoping that in 5 years' time we'll get married. It is not necessary. Go ahead with someone who is ready for marriage. And if that person is ready for marriage, let all the necessary things be done. Number two is let the person, the man coming to you, know who you are, what you can take and what you can take. There are people, I can hit my chest and tell you that there are girls that no man on earth will be bold enough to say, get pregnant for me. Are they going to sleep with you in the first place? These are people that will not even, in fact, it's against their faith to sleep with you before marriage. So I wonder, somebody you cannot tell to sleep with you, how then are you going to tell the person to get pregnant?
So I think the summary of the whole thing is that young ladies should
set priority. They should
have a standard.
They should say, this is what I can take and this is what I can take, and present it on the table from the beginning. If the guy at any point start deviating, remind him. If he's not willing to return back to the initial agreement, let him go. And
again, you know, this 21st century, there's this cousin of mine who will be getting married soon.
Okay.
When he told me about the marriage, I asked him, what does the wife do? He said she just graduated, she'll be going for service, she does one business or the other. I said, okay, no problem. I told him, well, fine, that I prefer ladies who work. It could be maybe you're a civil servant, whatever, or maybe you have a talent, maybe you own a salon, you must have something that you're doing. It's not a situation where you get married and you become although I don't like calling ladies housewives because you know it's a huge deal being a mom, a stay-in mom, all right? Taking care of the children, it's a huge deal. But even when you're a stay-in mom, there are other things you can actually do. Because somebody who loves doing something, somebody who has a talent, you can't cage that person. You can't stop that person. So I actually think it's really important for ladies to find out what they are made for, what they are created for. Have something that you're doing. Have a job. Get a talent. Learn something. Have a skill.
Yeah.
Don't just get married. Don't just become a burden to the man.
Yeah, and one thing is that if you get busy, you won't have time to entertain certain things.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Let's take, for instance, you're single, and here we are talking. Probably today, you've been on radio. In the morning, in the afternoon, you're on radio. In the evening, you're on radio. So you're quite busy, and this job has occupied your mind. You won't have time to start sitting with a man for him to now look at you and say, I now want to marry. I've made up my mind to marry, but get pregnant. You have something more important, your life and your time you're investing on. You understand? So now, some of these ladies who take this thing, like I said, either they are desperate or they feel that without this person, no one will marry them.
And that's
sometimes
that's a wrong place to be.
Sometimes these are people that need help. Already the man is the one taking care of her, spending money on her. So she has seen how this man is spending on her, and she thinks it's going to stay like that.
So in conclusion, how can we ensure that the lady does not fall for this, and the guy, how can we actually ensure that the guy receives sense?
Yeah, for the ladies, what I'll just tell you is get information, be exposed, and make the best use of every good information.
And yeah, I needed us to say something. If it's about, for some guys that say they want to test fertility, if it's about testing fertility, there are a lot of
hospitals.
Medicine has so advanced right now that
hospitals.
Fresh, if you want them to check inside of your body, to know what is happening in your body, they will do that and tell you. That is the advancement of medicine.
Yeah,
so
correct.
if you're kind of checking to know whether you can
of course, before you marry
your
someone,
fertility, go to the hospital.
Before you marry someone, it's advisable for both of you to go to the hospital and take some tests.
Yeah, check up.
You understand?
Do some checkup.
That like sperm count analysis, hormonal imbalance check. You know, genotype, blood group, and all of that. Infection. You can also check infections. So it is wise enough to check all these things.
Yeah.
And when you check it, if there is any action, you need to take
the action
you start taking it immediately.
Yes.
You know, unlike coming together to tell her you want to marry her,
if you want
and
me
she
to
has
marry.
to get pregnant.
Please, guys, stop
Lots
that.
of girls have been
Please.
deceived like that, and
Honestly.
many are still being deceived. And I think it's time they stop.
Honestly, and we do hope that with all that we've talked about this moment on this program, that, I mean, for the young lady out there, Freshman has said everything. When
We have said
everything. You know, you have a way of hitting it on the head, you know.
Yeah.
When you are busy, when you have something that you're doing, the guy will not have the guts.
Something that occupies your time.
He won't even
but a situation where
because he'll be afraid of losing you.
Especially when you depend on a man, you want to do your hair, you want to buy on this, you want to buy slippers, you want to buy airtime. Everything is about a man. So how on earth
he can tell you anything?
You have lost your respect, because it's a disrespect for a man to tell a lady like that. So for a man to tell you that, he has lost every respect for you. You understand? And that's why a man can boldly open up and tell you, look, you have to get pregnant. Some people do not even marry those who get pregnant for them.
So please remember that your life is in your hands. You take the right kind of decisions for yourself, and whatever it is you're doing, ensure that you make yourself happy and make yourself joyful. Take the right kind of decisions for yourself. Fresh, I really had an amazing moment here. And thank you so much for joining us. I am Oma, your very sweet on radio and TV. And with me.
Okay, my name is Freshman. Thank you, and hopefully myself and Norma, we're going to see you next week, Tuesday, to have a great night rest. Bye.
Bye.